Professor, may I speak with you for a moment? I would suggest away from prying ears. What's the matter? Don't lie. I've just watched you push your shepherd's pie around the plate for 20 minutes. Come on, talk to me. How have you been settling in? I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. Your students seem to be responding very well to you. I sympathize. I know working at Hogwarts can be very demanding, and I understand how easily one might begin to feel overwhelmed by one's responsibilities here. I hope you'll forgive me for prying, but I sense there may be something else, something beyond the standard challenges of teaching and time management. Your demeanor has changed. You seem withdrawn. Your focus is scattered. I'm sorry to hear that. May I ask what these nightmares entail? I think I have something that could help alleviate your situation, at least on a temporary basis. The Weasley twins are in detention with me until 7 tomorrow night. It might be possible that I could make myself available after that. For now, I think it's best that you return to the Great Hall and make sure you at least have dessert. You shouldn't be going to bed on an empty stomach. Until tomorrow, Miss Clearwater. Good evening. Punctual as always? I'm assuming you haven't yet experienced the unrivaled pleasure of a detention with the Weasley twins. Unfortunately for me, they seem to have become something of a regular fixture in my Friday evenings. Have a seat. Now, as I mentioned yesterday, I have in my possession a particular potion that I believe you may find useful. However, I would be remiss if I didn't also make plain that this potion is not a long-term solution to your problem. Dreams, both good and bad, are important. As such, one should not attempt to suppress them for long. I'm giving you this potion only on the condition that you understand you are to use it sparingly for a very limited period of time. This is a dreamless sleep draught. Whilst it shares many of the same properties as a typical sleeping potion, this potion is arguably even more powerful by virtue of the fact that it can prevent the drinker from dreaming whilst under its effect. When brewed well, the effects should last 8 hours, enough time for you to get a sufficient night's rest. A good question. It contains a mix of ingredients, some much rarer than others. Valerian root, chamomile, asphodel, dreambane leaf, and rarest of all, a few strands of mooncalf hair. I was able to obtain the latter from my private store. To achieve maximum efficacy, I would advise taking the draught shortly before you get into bed. 3 drops under the tongue should suffice. You should also be aware that I have taken the liberty of enlisting a couple of house elves to support you during your lessons. I have instructed them that until they receive further notice from me, they're to help you set up before your lessons begin and pack away at lesson's end. There's no point giving me that look. If I had suggested that you make these arrangements for yourself, I know you almost certainly wouldn't have. So I'm afraid the intervention was necessary. I appreciate that you have your reservations about delegating to the house elves, Miss Clearwater, but it's what they're at the castle to do. There is absolutely no point in struggling when you have willing servants available at every turn. Just try this for a few weeks, just to see how you get on. If it's really so terrible, I'll let the house elves know that their help is no longer required. A wise decision. It's getting late. I think that'll be it for now. Do let me know in the coming days how the draft is working for you. You're welcome. Good night, Miss Clearwater.